I'm gonna cast Snoop.
Alrighty. Episode 55, I think, of the world of Skell-Ghosts. We welcome you live to Facebook and later on YouTube. So let's see what I wrote down. We began the last game with you all on the march, heading south towards Tila in hopes of booking passage out onto some islands where rumored has it that there are giants on these islands. Giants who are somehow involved in the slave trade. And you were hoping to not run into any Acarimans along the way. Acarimans being this invading force, if you will, of soldiers from a southern continent. And you traveled several days until finally you saw the city on the horizon. I'm trying to remember if you had an encounter along the way. I think you did, I just don't remember what it is.
We didn't fight anybody.
No? Okay.
The last thing we fought was the giant. We stopped at a village, but they didn't have horses. That was the thing. That was the only thing. We stopped and got food. And, yeah.
So, you made your way you had a discussion about what your plans were going to be once you got into the city upon seeing the walled port city of Tila. And those of you on Facebook can see the map out in front of me. I've also taken a picture of that map and put it up on a story on Facebook, and I've also just sent it to the players so they can zoom in on that and enhance at their leisure. So after deciding that you weren't really sure what you were going to find inside the city, because I don't think any of you had been here before. Shadrach had been here before, but I don't remember him revealing a lot about what he had encountered here in the past. So you went in through the gate and started seeing how the city was laid out, and there's clock towers and water towers in various locations. The city's divided up into 8 wards, each one having its own flavor and unique inhabitants. You were passing through Ward 6, which is the northwestern ward, and Prince B could determine that it was a banking district, so lots of lawyers and accountants and people that have to deal with facts and figures. And then you saw a bunch of gnomes come out of working on one of the water towers that had sprung a leak, and I think Pikel was just trying to be friendly to offer some assistance, but something about him struck them the wrong way, as he didn't roll very well on his charisma, and they told him to piss off, or they were sarcastic. in their gnomish way, and you continued on. You saw...
Shan calmed them down because he spoke their language.
You saw the Gilded Lion here at the edge of the ward, and you decided that you all would go about doing your own thing and then reconvene back at the Gilded Lion upon finishing your business. So it was somewhat before then where Prince B disappeared to do whatever he was going to do, and in real life Brad's phone died, so he was out of the game for the rest of the game, so he can make up whatever it was that he was doing at that time. Vanessa went to the Temple of the Blend there in the middle of the city in that round ward. Pikel and Boris and Prince B went with them as well, but he didn't have much to say, so that's what happened. He kind of tagged along. So Pikel and Boris made it down to the docks and were inquiring about passage, and they came up with 3 different possible ships to pursue. He also bought a map from one of the cartographers, if there's more than one there, and it showed the southern islands where the giants supposedly are, and none of the islands show like there's cities or civilization or anything. They're just islands. So what's on these islands is a mystery, as it should be. And then Guy went to the government ward and sought out the military there, and he had a discussion with one of the commanders there, talking about current events and the giants and the Acarimans, and there appeared to be some possible fruitful connections made there. And Shadrach went and found a tree by the Gilded Lion and cast a spell and turned into a shrub and just sat there quietly, taking in the sights and sounds, and relaxed, possibly just calming himself. Who knows exactly why he did that, but and then after all of their individual tasks or things that they wanted to do were finished, they all met back at the Gilded Lion, and they were starting to discuss what they had learned. And Pikel had told everyone that there were 3 ships and the captain's names and sort of what he was told about their dispositions. There was Captain Nick, Captain Hood, and Captain Jonas. And that is where we left off. So, unless someone has any corrections or additions to the recap, Daryl should be joining us pretty soon, I would think. He had let us know that he was getting some overtime earlier in the day. So, I am going to put on some low-level music just for myself, and then we shall commence.
Yeah, I stay in the form of a tree for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So,
nice.
1 hour plus 1 turn per level. You said it was only rounds, and that was last time, and I was like, I knew that wasn't true. So I figure after 2.5 hours, somebody ought to come back to the Prancing Lion.
The Prancing Lion, nice.
Sorry, that's not what it's called. I know it's the lion.
Gilded Lion.
The Gilded Lion, that's right. I was thinking of the Prancing Pony, for God's sake. That's my go-to bar in any kind of, when I think of a fantasy bar, it's the Prancing Pony.
I haven't used this program in a while. Let's see what it dials up. Obviously, we don't need...
Well, St. Patrick's Day's coming.
Okay.
That was actually kind of festival.
Apparently there's something going on in the tavern, so you can hear a fire and short applause, pouring water, glasses clinking, cutlery, quiet British pub. So this is a program called city.ambientmixer.com. Tavern life. So anyway.
I hear the clicking and stuff. That sounds...
So anyway, that... so unless one of you is not there, we should say that Vanessa is not there yet. She can return. Although she was there, she was giving Guy the business because Guy was talking about how he wanted to talk to the ship's... He was telling Pikel, let me talk to the ship's captain. And Vanessa was like, you shouldn't, you know, your skills aren't in this area. You're a warrior. And you were just laughing. Guy was just laughing. So...
Says the giant green woman.
Anyhow, unless there is some other discussion to take place...
Cheers.
If you guys want food, of course, you can do whatever. You can order it, or you can get a round of drinks, or you can just get a room and go to sleep. So, what would you like to do?
So we're all at the inn then, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, Guy says I have to go at some point. If anybody wants to go with me, I need to get a horse, and I'm going to get a good one. Not just some nag out of a farm. I've got the money now, so I'm going to get a horse, and I'm going to get some good armor for my horse. And I'll stand up. And I'd like to make an announcement. And I say, Paco, stand up. And I assume he does. And I'll say, Paco, I've decided that I'm going to... You have graduated from your service to me, and I believe now it's time for you to take up arms in the service of the Republic. If you switch, I give you that option. Do you accept my service now? And he was, and unless you want to do a cob, I'll role play it out. Paco seems a bit confused by what I'm saying. But I draw my sword. I don't know if people are going to freak out in the middle of the inn. And I'll say, Paco, kneel. And he'll kneel. And I will tap him on both shoulders with my sword and say, Paco, today you are night. Rise, Sir Paco. Night, Sir Paco. In the inn for everybody to see, and then I'll say, drinks on me!
Alright. Well, there don't seem to be a lot of people noticing at first, but upon the exclamation of drinks on me, you see several people like turn around and look as if they're expecting it to be a joke. And there's one of them's like, Hey, he said drinks on him. And other people are kind of like, oh, shut up. He did not.
Barkeep. And if the barkeep appears, I will toss him a platinum piece and be like, drinks on me. Let it ride.
And then some people are like, hey! And you see a lot of people heading up there to the bar, and they're all, and he gets out all kinds of cups and just starts pouring stuff hand over fist.
I'm pretty sure a platinum piece will cover the booze for quite a while. If not, let me know.
And as you
but I'm more...
You hear the people in the background there being very... they seem to be happy, and the place picks up. And at that, there's actually some music starts playing. Why not?
Yes, music, make merry.
And I would like Guy to make a charisma check, please. Just a straight charisma check.
Oh, hang on. I got good charisma.
That didn't sound good.
I don't know why Vanessa don't think I have good charisma. I rolled a grand total of 24.
24, all right. There is several people walking by and congratulating Paco, and the smell of ale and harder liquors starts to cross paths with your table. A couple people are looking at Bart with, I don't know if awe would be the answer, but they're certainly noticing this, the appearance of this elf who's wearing this, Brad, what does your cloak of avoidance actually look like? Brad, I don't know if you're on mute or whatever. We can't see you on the screen.
I said I don't have the cloak of avoidance on. I can't have it on with camera.
Didn't you read the thing I sent you? I double checked the rules. Those are fine.
Okay, cool. I thought it would be. The cloak of avoidance is purple. It's like purple color, and it's ankle length, I guess, and it's got a lot. Well, nobody can see all the pockets in it, but it's just a nice cloak, fine cloak.
Does it have?
It's got a hood.
Does it have a lot of embroidery along the hemming and everything like that? Okay, so yeah, this cloak. Now, a cloak is a little different than a robe, where a cloak covers your arms, and you can have a cloak that does have holes for your arms. And then sometimes they'd even put like a smaller cloak over that. So depending on what you want, or you could have it just where it just covers everything, and you have to part it and push it to the side to do your spells and such.
Yeah. You can throw it off your shoulders to do so.
So he appears to be a little more finely dressed than most, if not all, of the other in-folk, if you will. Jason, you had your hand up.
Oh, hang on. What I was gonna say is, Paco, I think it's time for Paco to be officially a first level something. That's why I knighted him. I figured he's certainly got at least enough experience to be a first level something. Like, if he just wants to be a fighter, if he wants to be a cavalier, it's up to him. But that was just going to be my suggestion, and I'm going to take him out and get him a horse and get him some armor too, and get him right proper in the world.
Okay, well it's getting dark, so
But yeah, tonight we're celebrating, yes.
We can deal with that tomorrow or whenever.
And you congratulated Paco. You're all disgusting. That's all I have to say.
What?
Shad will...
Congratulated him. I just letting you go.
Paco's quite excited. Warrior!
Oh, better.
See, I'm getting an echo with my headphones on.
Well, I think it's either Clark or Brad would have to be on mute. Although Brad's got his headphones on, so.
What you're hearing is ambient sound. It's a closet.
What is it?
The ambient sound coming from the computer on your end. See?
I'm froze up right now.
Every time the music comes through, it starts squeaking and echoing. And there we go.
Yeah, I'm frozen right now. My picture is at least.
Well, you're not frozen on our end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check your screen up.
We have to call back. Hang on.
You can go ahead and drop out and reconnect. That's fine.
All right. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll be back.
Sure.
All right, Clark, you're on mute, but you can go ahead and unmute, and then you'll have the floor.
Alright. Michael's going to arrange a couple rooms for everybody. I don't know how big the rooms are.
Okay. It's just like 2 silver per room, and in each room there's 2 beds, so how many rooms would you like?
Nice.
Alright.
That's you on the, you can tell which one is you, Brad.
Yeah, we see.
We,
The guy with the scale armor. I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
It's not finished yet. I want everybody to see
Okay.
what's going on. Hang on, I'll take a picture.
I'll arrange livery for the donkey for the night, if that's close by as well.
Sure, there's a stable.
And that's what I'll take care of.
All right, so rooms for everybody and stabling for the donkey. It'll cost you an even gold coin.
Alright, he gives up the gold and
That's exorbitant. Shadrach is happy for Paco and gives him a little messing.
No.
Paco's thrilled. Paco thinks he's part of the gang now.
Part of the gang now?
Part of the gang.
Oh.
give a pencil kid.
Not a gang.
Well, why not? We're a gang.
We're a group.
Basically.
Alright.
We're accepting donations.
At gunpoint, yeah.
Alright, and Michael will
Hey, Apple gets
request a room with Bart because he wants to do something.
All right, I just posted the picture.
And then,
I posted the Jim Jams.
they're looking at me.
You're the one on the left, Brad. Or at least that's my you're standing to the left of Shadrach.
You send it on Messenger?
Yeah, it's on the Jim Jam side on Messenger.
Okay.
The Jib Jab side.
Well, that's what it's called, the Indian Jim Jams. Don't mock me.
No, I'm not mocking you. I'm looking on the D&D Wednesday Jam here, and I don't see it. Oh, there it just came through. Shadback Santa Sloogie.
Oh, when it on that page, does it say Shadrach for my name?
Well, that's what I put it under.
Oh, okay. I didn't because I see everybody else's names, but I don't see what my name is.
You can personalize it.
Yay! I'm Shadrach. Yay!
Well, that's That's pretty cool.
Well, like you can see it's incomplete, and I haven't put the ghee in there yet.
Why
so.
is Pykel in a furry costume?
Sorry?
Looks like Pykel's wearing pajamas.
I can't hear you.
So it looks like Pykel's wearing pajamas.
Pykel is not
You got a onesie on.
gonna clothing me. Uh-oh. This stupid phone is having a issue.
I can't figure out how to get there.
Because like I said, he's bald, so I'll have to add hair to him then.
He's just not finished, that's all. I understand.
Oh, no, he's not finished at all. No. I haven't even drawn ghee yet on there, so...
I understand.
I thought I did a fair rendition of you there, Bart.
Yeah, it's bad.
I haven't done any detail on the cloak yet, so it'll be a different color when I'm done. It'll have shadows and
It's
stuff.
like purple and with golden light in it.
Wait, you're getting a pencil, dude, so just shut up. It ain't gonna be in color.
So Pykel comes back with how many room keys did you get, Pykel?
Well,
I hope you got some sweets, man. I'm gonna sleep on no damn plank when I got this kind of money.
Did you get four rooms?
I would guess, wait, people.
Okay. So where do you distribute the keys?
I just kind of...
I imagine
Hold on now, Clark's playing. Don't interrupt him. Go ahead, Clark.
I would put Bart both with me. I'd give a key to Shadrach. I'd give a key to G. I'd see if Paco's going to be bugging with him, and a key to Vanessa.
Oh, shit.
Shadrach says, I don't want a room, thank you.
All right.
I'll be outside.
That's good. No.
Guess G gets bugged by himself. Well, I don't know. You'd be bugging with Vanessa anyway, wouldn't you?
Excuse me?
You'd bunk with the dance anyway, wouldn't you?
Shad walks away.
Anyway, that's what we do, and eat and distribute room keys and...
Oh.
All right. So is anyone gonna do anything else before it's time for bed?
Alright. Once we go in the room, I'm going to get one of the platinum coins, and I'm going to cast a spell. Or one of the giant coins.
Hold on a second. Start over, Clark. Where is this happening?
When we do get the rooms, I'm going to cast a spell and use it with one of the giant coins.
Okay. And who's in the room with you?
Bart? He has
Okay.
all the coin.
Yeah.
Okay. So. How do you get one of the coins?
Ask Bart for one. Hey Bart, let me see one of them coins.
I have pull that chest. I didn't check the chest anyway. I pull out the little chest out of my pocket and I open it up.
All right.
And
And,
I open the door to the angel plane. I reach in and I pull out a dress.
all right. Now there is a large chest there on the floor.
Alright. Michael pulls out one of the coins and gets some old cave lizard bones deep out of his priest pouch. Used for scattering and stuff. And casts No History.
Excellent.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you're right, Brad. Shad has no sense of
Sit on
humor.
the table, he puts the bones on top of it, and chants in Dwarvish. Or mutters in Dwarvish, whatever he mutters. Rothrinder is back. History, Voss, and goes on for endless hours or endless time waiting for an answer to his question.
That dude. Hey, damn it.
Dag nabbit.
Well then.
You're cooking, Brad.
Okay.
I'm sitting funny. 25. Oh.
That's what she said.
It is revealed to you, Pykel, that the item
Hey, Dave, where'd you get the pencil?
They find a pen. Grab it.
is called an exhibitum. It is a coin from the ancient giant kingdom.
Uh-oh.
This coin was used in giant society to pay for things. And these particular coins were made by the giant coinsmith by the name of Varus, V-A-R-R-U-S.
Can I figure out who's the likeness? Is it Virus the likeness on that picture? On the coin?
It does not reveal that, but you do know that the likeness is of the current ruler of the giant kingdom when the coin was minted. So that is apparently what they look like, or at least that is what the artist that made the coins or made the stamp chose to use to represent the ruler of the...
No name?
It's a ruler of Kilos.
Hi, Daryl. Hello.
There we go. Really paying attention to you?
Okay. And that this coin was in possession of someone who was attempting to stop the Great Dragon Giant War.
Alright, well that's good. I might go off of or go on. So that, you said they were in possession of, but the king's just the current king. We know the current king, we don't know the current king's name though, right?
No. You may be able to guess that if these coins are ancient, that unless giants live forever, that entity is probably long gone.
Some giants live longer than others, so that's what I'm asking. Alright, well, that's in better we have. Now, I'll tell Bart about what I figured out and mention the Great Dragon Giant War and see if he knows anything about that. I think I can roll a random history.
I got 18 history. But I know anything about the Giant War.
Let me see here.
Somebody trying to stop it. So some kind of giant hero or some kind of probably giant hero involved. Who apparently fell.
Gotta check it out. Shit.
Is there a dice cage?
The character has learned the legends, lore, and history of some ancient time and place. The knowledge must be specific, just as a historian would specialize today in the English Middle Ages, the Italian Renaissance, or the Roman Republic before Caesar. And there's a terrible echo right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
All right, I'll take these headphones off. Hang on.
Well, there's no way headphones would cause it. That doesn't make any sense.
In the headphones, I hear myself back in the headphones. Is what I'm.
It didn't help.
It's somebody without headphones would be what would cause it. That's why Clark needs to go on mute all the time. Although if he's on mute right now, there's still an echo.
Yeah, it's still an echo with being on mute, so.
To you, Tom.
It's generally only when Cobb speaks loud, though, so.
I don't do an echo when you talk. The only when he's got Tom's talking.
Well, I've had this set.
Am I having an echo?
I've had this same setup for years. I don't see how it could be me. But anyway, I'll keep going.
See?
So, Bart, I'm hard pressed to say that your ancient history applies to giants.
It does what? Why?
Your ancient history is for a specific historical time or place.
It'd be more like Alvin's history.
I mean, that is the way I remember it.
Alright.
But you can certainly both roll an untrained roll, if you'd like. Roll a d20. Well, the higher the better.
Is it 9?
What'd you get, Clark?
And do math in my head.
No, just what'd you roll on a d20?
I roll 15.
Okay. Alright, so this information is unknown is new to the two of you.
Alright.
Nope, one at a time. Raise your hands if you want to speak. Who's going?
Really, Clark.
Oh, I see. I guess at that point I would turn in if we couldn't figure anything out.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. Alright. So as people turn in for the evening and they consider what new information they've gained,
Oh, Finesse, I'm knighted Paco.
Good deal.
And you heard Bart make a rude comment about you and Shad left.
I didn't make a rude comment. I just said I figured he'd check with you. You guys stay in the same room. Didn't just finish it before.
Shad and Vanessa sleep in the same room, and Shad got pissed and left.
It's a lot easier to hear you when you had your headphones on, Jason.
All right. Yeah, I get it.
It might be coming from me, because I'm hearing myself echo.
No, you gotta go to my end.
Right, I just have to get used to that. I know that you're not hearing it.
There.
Better, I can hear you clearly.
Here it is. It's gone.
Yeah, Guy knighted Paco and bought drinks for the everybody. He threw a platinum on the counter and said drinks for everybody.
So this is still the first evening in Tila?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vanessa gets a room to herself because and Bart was like, I thought you two would sleep together. And Shad got all pissy and left.
Well, you're welcome to share a room. That don't mean any hanky-panky's going to be happening, mister.
Well, Shadrach got that. Shadrach thought that was implied by Bart, so that's why he left.
All right, I just want to do an experiment. Hold on. I just want to do an experiment real quick. Okay. Clark, go to mute. Okay, do you hear an echo now, fellas?
Not from you.
I do not.
Okay, Clark, unmute. Okay, fellas, do you hear an echo?
It's me.
Now.
No. Yeah.
Yes. So what we need to do is we need to work on Clark getting a headset.
I think it's Brad.
It's me. I got it when I was... No, I'm not.
Now I
Yeah,
can't
now
tell.
But that's okay. It's a work in progress, Clark. It's not... It's,
I got some earbuds. They squeak though for some reason.
Well, that's not going to help you, so don't... If that won't work, then that's not what we want.
It's the frequency, man.
Yeah, somebody don't know the frequency, so uncertain. Yeah, so if anything, Shad was embarrassed, and that's probably why he left. He turned red and got embarrassed and left. And as I told Brad, Shad doesn't really have much of a sense of humor.
No, he's kind of serious.
The jokes are lost on him.
Or he'll just start laughing for no reason, and nobody else gets it.
Yeah, he'll be like talking to a bird and start laughing, and it's like, what the hell what's happening?
All right, so let's go. And I would like...
Oh, Paco asked for your blessing, Sister Vanessa. Now that he's been knighted Sir Paco.
He will certainly give that. Let the blend watch over you, Sir Paco. May you serve the Republic bravely. I know you will.
Paco is a definite blend adherent.
I would like Jason to roll a d20, please.
Uh-oh. 6.
All right. So after enjoying the comforts of cloth-filled mattress and not scratching at a bug-infested room, because the Gilded Lion is not your low-end establishment.
Marlin keeps a clean place.
You all awaken to do whatever it is you'd like to do and take on the day. So, what would
Shad
you...
wants to cast a spell, but I'm still trying to find it. I can't remember the name of it properly, and it's the one that I cast when the Reflecting Pool, but it's not called Reflecting Pool. I can't remember what it was called.
I think we should go down to the docks. listen to some people and watch them come and go and see if we see any Echo-Raymans or their symbols.
Shadrach agrees and says, yes, we need to get this ship business settled.
Or any death cult people. Maybe talk to the people on the dock and see if they've seen them.
And if we should go past any places that have horses or armor, let me know. I'm gonna outfit
There's
Paco.
places.
I'm sure when I gotta go pick up the donkey for delivery, I can tell you.
Yeah, let's get the boat thing. Games like this, we can do that later. Let's deal with the boat now.
I think we should all walk together,
Yeah.
says
No, I
Sister
think
Vanessa.
we should walk an hour apart and go in opposite directions.
Yeah, let's live a party.
Nah.
Divine charter.
Yeah,
All right.
let's make an entourage of ourselves, by God.
Breakfast is had.
Well, Bobbies.
All right, so you guys tell me what you want to do, or just narrate you doing it.
We are going to the docks.
All right.
Boris will get up and leave the Gilded Lion and say, let's all go.
Okay. Does anyone need to do anything before you all leave?
Felcher's already doing that.
Did the
I
spell?
didn't cast any spells yesterday, did I?
No.
I should pray, but I can do that at the church.
If anything, Shadrach took 20 minutes to get his, no, it's 15 minutes. So he took 15 minutes to pray to get his spells back to full.
Yep. Paco does the same. You only cast one, so I mean,
Yeah, I only cast the third
pretty
level.
quick.
So that is all done. I will do mine as well, since everybody's taking the time.
All right. So you leave the Gilded Lion, pack up your stuff, get your donkey and wagon, or are you leaving it there?
It's there until we get faster to the ship. It'll probably be easier.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I don't think
right.
we need to drag that donkey around town with us, for God's sake.
And are you carrying all of your possessions as well? Are you going as if you're going to fight a war and carrying everything in your backpacks, or are you just taking what you need to do some business transactions?
Okay,
Both of my characters have all their stuff.
I have my
He's fully armored. Yeah, Shad has all his stuff. All my people have all their stuff.
All right. Let's see.
Unless there's an objection to Guy walking around in his armor. Is that, like, frowned upon? Or,
You're a servant of the Republic.
yeah, I'm flaunting my office, basically. This is my office. Yeah, this is my badge. So people will know, yeah, there's a Knight of the Realm, a Knight of the Republic. Yeah,
should be obvious by now.
2 of them. Well, Paco's not obvious yet, but it will be. I'm gonna get Paco some armor.
All right. So you make it down to the docks, the dock ward, and what would you like to do?
Where's the ships?
Daryl has
Says
his
Guy.
hand. Daryl has his hand up.
Boris is going to walk out onto the dock at some point and just kind of stop and sit down on a pier post and watch as people come and go off of different boats, and he's just going to sit down there and observe for a while.
All right.
And Sister Vanessa will suggest that someone talk to the harbor master and see if we can get some information. And that's it.
Jason has his hand up.
He says to Boris, where's these captains you talked to?
I don't know.
Well, who
Where
talked to
their
these
boats?
captains?
I didn't
Ask
talk to them, I
Michael.
heard about them. I got their
Oh,
names.
you heard about it. Well,
We
let's
have to
go
find them still.
Get up off your ass. Let's go find them.
Alright, well, let's go talk to the harbor master and find out where the chief captain is and go talk to him. See about chartering a boat. I'll
Chad
take the
is
map
by
out.
the seagulls.
All right, so
I'm gonna sit right here.
after some asking around, you find out that the harbor master has a office close to the ship that has been turned into a tavern. And you make your way there, and you can see that in those of you that can read Southern Tongue, it says Harbor Master right on the sign above the door. It's a wooden framed building with a sloping roof. Looks like it needs some work. Couple of windows that are open. The shutters are thrown wide open, and on the inside you can hear the sound of music coming from inside. Someone must be playing some type of stringed instrument. And Pikel has his hand up.
Do I? No, I'm playing the beer.
Oh, all right. Very good. Daryl, go ahead.
Vanessa will approach and give a knock on the door.
All right. You knock on the door and you hear, come in.
I'll speak with him. You guys, are you coming?
I'll talk with him in with the map and just list the names in his head.
All right.
He's just
I open the door.
Come on.
Okay, so those of you that go inside, which apparently is everyone but Boris, you...
Chad will stay outside too.
Okay.
He'll talk with Boris while they're in there.
You see standing over a, like as if intently looking at a bunch of papers on this large wooden desk, a full-on, full-blooded, large ogre. Tusk teeth, flat nose, a thinning hairline, but what thin hair is there is pulled into a ponytail and comes down the left. So it looks like, and just for a second you're kind of freaked out because it looks like he's got a bunch of that corn silk that you had to fight through wrapped onto his head, but then you realize it's his hair and you're just kind of freaked out for a second. He's got this dark skin that looks like it's seen a lot of sun, but he's wearing this full shirt that's buttoned up just so far, like, and the hairy body and warty exterior still is poking through, and he's wearing these huge pants of leather that look like were fairly well made at one time, but they look worn at the knees and the back of the knees, and the hems are frayed. And he's wearing these extremely large shit kicker boots that you know could stomp a mud hole in your ass if he was so inclined to do so. He's got 3 rings on each hand, and he's wearing some type of chain around his neck, some type of decorative jewelry chain. His nose is pierced and his left ear is pierced. And when I say his nose is pierced, it's not pierced as in a control ring that you would put in a cow or a steer, but it's pierced through one nostril. And it almost looks like it's a rusty piercing, but it's actually like there's a little bit of snot involved, and it's kind of disconcerting because when he breathes, the snot kind of moves with it, and you're just hoping he doesn't sneeze at the wrong time. And he looks at everybody as you walk in, And then he's like, come on in now, come on in, don't be shy.
Good day, brother. How are you? Says Vanessa.
I would like you to roll a charisma check, please, Vanessa.
Oh boy. 10 total.
Okay. He says, nah, I'm not your brother, that's okay. But you can call me the harbor master. And then he looks at you and he says, I see. Yeah, that's great. He kind of starts mumbling to himself something about the blend being a bunch of jerks, and last time they were here, it made him feel bad, and then he's like, right, but he's doing the, bad, blah, 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 and then he looks up, he's like,
Well, I'm just happy to see another species represented in this great republic, and she'll step back with a bow to the back of the crowd.
You all notice that when she says that, he gets this look on his face like, what the fuck? If you can imagine an ogre having a dirt face, all that's what he does, and then he looks at the rest of you, waiting for one of you to speak up. Jason has his hand up.
Guy will step forward and give a little short bow and say, Harbor Master, we have need of your wisdom.
I would like you to roll a charisma check, please.
22.
22. He looks you up and down and he says, wisdom? That only depends on if you like the answer for your questions, my lord. And then
I'll bow again.
When you bow again, you notice that when your eyes raise up again, he's sneering as if he's not impressed.
I'm just being respectful. I don't say that out loud.
Okay. Anybody else?
I can roll out the map and say, we're trying to get to these islands.
I would like Pikel to roll a charisma check, please.
Apparently 15s are the roll of the day. Plus 9.
Uh-oh. 23.
23.
24. 15 plus 9 is 24.
Huh.
Okay?
24.
He's like, what do you got there, Shorty? Bring it over here.
Alright, he rolls out his map.
As you're rolling out the map, he looks over at Paco and Prince B, and then he looks back at Paco, and he goes, just kind of snorts.
You get used to him.
And then he looks back at Prince B and has no reaction at all. And then goes back to look at the map. Says, what are we looking
Parker
at?
doesn't cower as much anymore. He stands with a little bit more dignity.
So yeah, I recognize this map. What about it?
Trying to get to one of these 3 islands. A rumor of giants.
Hey,
What's the name of the,
that ain't no rumor, Shorty. There's giants on them islands. Why on earth would you want to go there? You got a death wish?
No, the Ravens are trading slaves to these giants. They have my friend's sister, and we're trying to get his sister back.
He says, that's right.
He says, and you think you're just going to go over there and say, pretty please, can I have my friend's sister? Is that your plan?
We got plans. Don't worry about that. We just gotta get there. The dwarves aren't too keen on swimming.
Well, I don't know about all that, but you know what? If you say you got a plan, it's none of my business. So what do you need from me?
What's the likelihood of Captain Jonas taking us here?
Jonas, huh? Let me see what I wrote about Jonas.
Reputable, but may shy away from such dangerous tasks.
He leans down to Piper and says, they don't have to be too reputable.
Jonas
Yeah, we want to-
Jonas isn't known for taking risks. I'd pick somebody else.
Well, it's told us, steer clear of Hood, but he'll do anything.
So if he'll do anything, why wouldn't you pick him?
You can't always trust someone who did everything. He might be likely to sell us right to the Acaranians.
Well, that's
What
implying
about
that
this Nick fella?
that's implying that he needs your money that bad. So far, these two captains you picked, they're pretty successful. They're not gonna bargain from a position of weakness. You got any other names?
What about this Nick fella?
Nick's so dumb and so young, he'd probably do it for half the cost. Of course, he's liable to not understand the reefs and the undertow leading out to those islands and get you all killed, but hey, you get what you pay for.
He
What about
speaks
that
up and
Hood
says,
stuff?
Yeah, Mr. R.
Nope, one at a time. Who's talking?
I'm talking to Nicky Jerry.
Go ahead, Brad. Brad, was Bart saying something? Oh, you're muted.
He was talking to Nikki.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead, Clark. Nope, hold on. Jason's got his hand up.
Guy was going to say to the harbor master, if you can't at least tell us a captain, do you know of any guides who would know those waters?
No, I'm not the guide master. I'm the harbor master. I deal with men that pilot ships and run companies. So,
All right, what's the toughest ship out there that we can hire?
the toughest ship? Like, you mean what used to be the Navy?
I mean a tough crew and a tough ship.
He thinks for a second, then he kind of walks
And we
over.
have the coin to pay.
Walks over to his wall and he starts looking at a bunch of papers tacked up on the wall. And then he grabs one and pulls it down and walks over and hands it to you. And you can see it's a wanted poster. And it says, wanted for piracy, larceny, murder,
Jaywalking.
and crimes against the Republic and the Royal Navy.
And the
Donkey.
name
I'm
is?
not sure
Dom-
that's the
Dom-
kind of company we want.
His name is Donkey Dan.
I don't know.
You want
Guy keeps the piece of paper.
currently Donkey's got a 3,000 Numic reward posted. And then he looks at it again. No, I mean Azar. But
Golden, baby.
he'd do it. Of course, he might demand more than just being a shuttle from the mainland. He might demand something a little more than that.
How about a piece of the action?
Yep.
Does this Hood fella know his way around the waters?
Well, I don't actually know what these people know. I only know what they tell me and what stories I hear. And from what I
He sounds
hear,
like a pirate.
Donkey Dan used to run illegal goods between those islands for whoever's on them.
I guess I'll ask which ships are to Nick's.
He says, why don't we just find this Donkey Dan, hire a crew, and buy a ship? Surely there's a ship for sale, and surely we can get a crew. It shouldn't be that hard.
I don't advise that.
That's a lot of investment for a shuttle, so let's find this one guy or Nick.
A shuttle?
I think Donkey Dan is going to know more about the ins and outs of what we're dealing with.
I think if anything, we should at least hire Donkey Dan. Or find him and see what he says.
You want to deal with a pirate, especially with
He won't be at this dock, I guess, if he's wanted that badly.
That's correct.
He'll be a businessman.
Correct.
Donkey Dan can be found to the east. Anybody who wants to find Donkey Dan can find his keep. But you better have something he wants.
What do you think he wants, if I may ask?
Donkey Dan's a very basic man from what I remember. And what I've heard lately ain't any different. He likes women. He likes gold.
Ah.
And he likes food.
Oh.
Personally, I don't see anything wrong with any of them things, but
No, not at all.
I like to do my business the right way by the Republic. And I sure as shit don't want to be hunted by the Royal Navy if and when they ever come back.
Where did they go?
Depends on who you believe. Some people say they were sunk by the sea god for crimes against the Republic. Others say they were bought out by the pirates and gave up their ships, took their gold, and went off to find their own homes. I don't believe either one. I think they were destroyed by a group of sea raiders and onboard warriors, the kind of people that make sure that no ship remains above the waterline.
Acrobations?
I don't know. I don't know much about the Echoramans other than I've seen a few come through, but they've been mostly quiet, kept to themselves, reserved. I don't mind people like that, mind their own business.
Well, I think we should go find Donkey Dan. Thank you, Harbor Master. See, you were wise after all.
Make another charisma check, please. Let's see if he's moved by your
29.
flattery.
29. sir.
29. He kind of looks you up and down and goes, then goes back to looking at his papers. Daryl has his hand up.
As Vanessa, when she first stepped back, she was really eyeballing the guy, the harbor master. Not like hard look at him or nothing, but she was observing him. And does she think that he in any way resembles one of the figures from her vision? I know Piquel Dish was in there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And a giant guy holding a sword that looked small in his grasp on a tree throne.
You, without rolling, you are pretty certain that this, you have not seen any connection between this harbor master and your vision.
Thank you.
Donkey Dan.
All right, so as you all leave the harbor master's office, you're now back outside, and the sound of dock workers and shipping and receiving and the movement of goods and services are all around you. What would you like to do?
Well,
We should head east, I guess. Do you guys want to talk to these other captains before we contact Donkey Dan?
I say...
Let's talk to this hood guy. He's supposed to be a prick, but he's not a pirate.
He says, I think we should find Donkey Dan first and not make a big stink about what we're doing. Because there could be other people like Akaraman's spies just waiting to hear that we're leaving to go out there, and they're going to be waiting for us. So, but that's just my opinion.
That's a valid point.
All right,
Abject says yes. I think the less spoken, the better.
all right, Brad, your hands up. Go ahead.
I forgot. Sorry. Lost with that. Stupid.
We can make splice cubes.
All right, fair enough. Okay, what are you guys doing?
I'm
so-
walking to the first... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
She follows the group.
Well, now I guess I'm going to have to go get the dog in the cart.
You think we should really lock up the Doggy Dan's place with 2 Republic Knights with us?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think Donkey Dan isn't going to give a damn if we jangle a big bag of coins in front of his face.
Why? He's gonna think you're gonna spend too much money.
He probably would be interested in those coins if he has dealt with the giants and traded with them.
Yeah.
I'll agree to you. I won't present. I'm an S. I don't think Donkey Dan's going to care what I'm wearing.
So let's not show
If
our
he does, I'll explain.
cards. Let's hide our bigger coin.
We have 5 coin each.
Yeah,
Platinum now, right? Is that correct? Everybody has their own platinum.
Well,
Yeah.
We also need
Okay.
diamond coins, didn't
We should. If we're going to go east, I don't plan on walking. He says I'm not leaving the city on foot. I'm going to buy a damn horse.
we? Oh, your feet hurt.
It's what I do. I'm not
That's fine.
children, and neither is Paco. So if nothing else, on the way out of the city, if we see a horse dealer, let me know. I won't worry about the armor till later. If Paco wants to buy himself a sword, that's on him.
All right. How? Okay, so roll a d20 there, Yee.
A 1.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. So as you're leaving the city, and unless you tell me that you're going some specific way out of the city, I'm gonna say that you're going
Yeah, there's an
east.
east gate.
Along the way, you do not see any horse traders.
What do you eat? What is
This whole damn city, you got a horse.
Ask someone.
Well, you should have asked when we picked up the donkey and the cart.
Yeah. Say there, my lord Prince Bartholantis, you once made me a pretty horse before. Think you can do it again?
It didn't last long. Yeah.
It lasts a couple hours,
I
doesn't it?
memorized today.
Doesn't it last?
Memorized.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll be walking. I won't look so intimidating that way.
You can ride the mule. You look white. What? Directly up there.
Maybe even side saddle.
Oh. All right, I've heard enough.
So, some good-natured ribbing by your fellow companions as you exit the city And I would like Clark to roll a d20.
8.
All right. As you are heading along out of the away from the city to the east, you can hear the crashing of waves on your right, and as you look off that way, you see the wide open ocean extending as far as the eye can see. Every so often you see a fishing boat out, some fishermen working. You see long-legged birds traipsing along the shore looking for food. You see other assorted animals along the way. Some Shadrach has never seen before, as he has not necessarily spent a lot of time near the ocean in his life. The day is quite nice for traveling, and I need Daryl to roll a d12.
Come on. An 11.
All right. As you travel and you pass through the last of a village that is on the, like, with the last ties to civilization, and you enter into what could be described as a very not a good traveling topography. There's a lot of hills and things that you got to go around and pass. There's the road has dwindled off into a trail, and the donkey is occasionally, the wagon will need help in getting through where the trail has been washed out by streams and gully washers or what have you. But eventually you see several boats on the shore. They are shallow bottom, slightly bigger than canoes, and then what appears to be a much larger ship anchored some 400 or 500 yards out in the ocean, currently with the sails furled and no colors flying to show any identification. And as your eyes continue to look around to see if you see anybody, you can see there are these tiny specks of movement on the ship. You can see that there's a few guys sitting around a fire down on the beach, somewhat keeping a not close watch on the smaller boats. And the trail heads in two directions, inland and forwards towards a structure that you can now see coming through the trees as you approach a little closer, and you have a decision to make. Jason has his hand up.
Oh, and what time of day was this?
It's about noon. You've had a pretty active morning, and you traveled just a couple hours, and then before you see this.
Well, I say we go to the structure.
Indeed.
He said he wasn't a key.
All right, so Boris and Guy out front, Paco out front too. So we got 3 out front. Paco doesn't guard the donkey no more.
Vanessa will be with the cart as she was before.
If anything, Paco is like a page right now because he's really not armed or anything, but he knows what he is. A herald, I should say, not a page, a herald.
Where's Shadrach?
At the rear.
Where's Bart? Where's Bart?
Our shed. In the back.
And where's Pikel?
I can't tell where anybody is. I guess somewhere in the middle. Somewhere close enough front if I have to move to get there. I won't take 4 rounds.
Who's going to speak for us, says Vanessa to everyone.
He says, if you don't mind, I'll do the talking. Shan shakes his head.
And Boris says, be careful what you say.
Remember, we're not dealing with the most reputable sort here. That whole, you might want to tone down the Republic talk, too.
I wasn't planning on broadcasting that, but I have an idea of what we're dealing with here. At least
I trust you, Guy.
I know how to deal with authority. That's if you think I'm a loudmouth, then I defer to whoever else wants to go up there.
Huh?
Maybe Prince Bart. Prince Bart ought to get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
If any of us draw attention, he'll be the one that catches their eye. But let's go. Come on. Let's go in our order that we're in. Come on.
Yep.
All right. Any other things either prepared or done before approaching this unknown building?
No.
I say we just advance casually and not look like we're ready to pounce on whatever leaps out at us.
We're just traveling.
Yeah, we're just casual. We're not putting on any kind of airs. We have a donkey cart, for Christ's sake. Nobody has a horse. I'd probably be a little bit more intimidating if I was on horseback.
Somebody needs to oil that squeaky door. All right.
Yeah, that's my cover.
Nearly 6 feet taller, isn't it?
So as you approach the building, there are the area around it has been cleared as if to make it hard for anyone to sneak up to the building under cover of forest or what have you. And upon coming out into the open, you can see that the building definitely looks fortified. It looks like an old, something similar to a plantation home. So it's got the large second-story balcony that extends out, and there appear to be a couple guards up there that are paying somewhat of attention. When I say guards, these aren't uniformed guards. They are people who are wearing whatever they want, but they have a job to do. They look like they're wearing like leather or padded armor, and they've got crossbows, and they're just kind of walking around. And as you approach, they of course notice someone approaching. And yes, Jason?
Hello, the tower!
Okay, the front of the building faces the sea, and you can see that there is a well manicured front lawn that extends down to a rock wall that creates a break against the ocean, and then there are steps that go down to the edge of the sea. so you are approaching from the left side of the building, and as you make your presence known, there is action coming from the people down on the shore with the small boats, and there is also action from the building and the wraparound second story porch that is used for any number of purposes. The guards that are on the building, they say, you need to stop right there. You're at about, I'd say, 150 feet, 50 yards away. And they say, are you lost? Whoa.
We hope not.
Is your boat for sale?
Nope, one at a time.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Boris says, is your boat for hire?
One of the guards looks at Boris and he says, not for the likes of you. Now piss off. This is private property.
Geeky steps forward and says, we have business. And I'll shake my coin in my little coin bag. We have business.
He looks at you. Make a charisma check, please.
33.
Okay.
18 plus 15.
You see him talking to another guard before he says, hold on, we'll be out in a minute. Yes?
Chad moves up towards the front.
Okay.
Come on, Bartolansis.
Okay.
I think we'll be needy. I think we should all form basically just two lines. And I'll say that the Picolas are moving up. Come on, I think we should join them.
Oh, you're on mute, Michael. Michael, you're muted.
Let's keep a sharp eye out. These are pirates and all.
Yep. That's why we need to form up.
All right, so just then, about several piratey-looking individuals pour forth from the side door of this building on the ground floor, and they all appear to be armed and unsavory looking. And when I say unsavory, I don't mean not cooked properly. I mean
Grimy.
tattooed and long-haired and your typical Pirates of the Caribbean pirates.
I'm offended by all this.
Well, that's what I was going for. Oh.
Yeah.
And you also notice that there are the guys that are coming up from the beach to come upon your right flank. And so
How many?
as far as you can tell, there is no one coming from your left flank or behind. Of course, you can't see them yet. And at some point, about 20 of these individuals stop at about 30 feet in front of you and about 30 feet to your right flank. And they are all armed with all of them about 2, except for 2 of them have crossbows, which appear to be locked and loaded. The ones they come up from the beach do not have crossbows. They have short swords and daggers, and some of them have other things that you cannot tell. Daryl.
Vanessa stays near the donkey, but she's looking at all these individuals as they gather and assessing their health, whether she sees any that are injured or bloody, or if they're all very healthy and agile, or if any of them look like they got scurvy, or any basic, just anything obvious of illnesses. She's just taking it in.
Make me a perception check, please.
A+, probably not gonna be there. Yeah, 20 total.
Okay, that was on a D30?
Yeah.
Okay. All
An
right, so
8.
I would say that without even rolling, they appear to have the common ailments of anyone in a medieval type of technologically advanced society. So there's going to be some of them that have had broken bones that weren't set properly, noses that are pushed to one side, missing teeth, cut ears, scars.
Okay.
But as far as like specific signs of disease or severe
festering wounds and shit like that.
any severe medical needs, you do not see any of those.
Thank you.
So one steps forward who appears to be bigger and stronger and more burly than all of the others, and he takes about steps about 10 feet forward, so he is 20 feet away, and he is, if you were to line him up with your group, he would be sort of lined up on Paco. And he says, I understand you say you have business with the master of this house. Am I correct?
Guy will step forward a square
Okay.
and say, yes, I'd like to talk to the master of the house.
Well, first of all, the master of the house is an inn. And second of
Well,
all,
that's a shame.
what kind of business could you possibly have with the master if he was here?
Well, as my friend spoke before, we have need of your ship and your crew, because you're the kind of people that can do the job we need done.
What makes you think we would do business with someone of your type?
What's my type? I laugh at him.
You bear all the marks of a man of import. Or
My family's rich.
did you steal that off of the corpse of someone and now you wear it to fool others into thinking that you are someone?
No, I earned it. My family's rich. I'm just a younger son, and I work alone, so don't worry about that.
And
So, you see my friends here? Do we look like? What do you think we are? We came here to do serious business with serious people. That's all I have to say on the matter.
We need a ride.
Well, yes, we need a ride.
he
That's
says,
putting it simply.
well, you I recognize because of what you wear. You there, and he points to Shadrach. I don't know you. Points to Boris. I don't know you. And then his eyes linger on Bart, and he says, everybody knows him. So you best come clean quickly.
Boris and Vanessa both look at Bart. What's he talking about, Bart?
Shad will look at him too.
I don't know what he's talking about.
He says, "Come now, Maestro. Your bearing and your impish nature are well known to my master and to all of us."
We need passage to the islands.
His jaw drops and he says, "Of course you do." He says, "Now just for my own peace of mind,
Yeah.
do you bring that which you stole from the east for payment, or do you bring another form?"
Are you talking about the flying pieces? I got them.
No, I'm talking about the legend of you, Maestro.
What about the legend?
Everyone knows you carry crowns and nobles from so many years ago. I'm sure you haven't given them all away, have you?
No.
And then he says, "Oh, that wouldn't by chance happen to be remnants of the dark sky you're wearing."
Remnants? Yeah, there's bits and pieces over here.
Word has reached our shores of the fall of the Night King.
19. What do I know about that, Kyle?
You know that apparently the Night King is someone or something that they think is important, that has something to do with whatever you look like now.
Okay.
Let's see. I know that the reputation for the Maestro to play coy is strong, so let me just ask you bluntly. I hope this wasn't supposed to be some type of secretive thing, but is that a scale of the Night King?
Black Dragon, Black Eye, yes it is. Why?
My master would like to give you thanks.
Okay.
Please, relax. If you all come in service of the Maestro, you are to be honored guests. Please sheathe and stow your weapons. My men will do the same. And he points and he says, "Make way. Make sure nothing happens to them. Make sure they get through the fields successfully." And you hear them say, "Yes, sir." And they all come and they form up and each one will escort one of you. So like each one of them will pair up with each of you. And then when they get to Pikel and Vanessa, one of them looks and says, "There's no way that cart's going to make it through that field. If you wish for
Why not?
If you wish for your beast of burden to remain in good health, you'll have to take him down to the beach and put him in the buildings down there."
That's fine.
Smitty, take the donkey and wagon. And this guy comes and starts to lead them away. The guy that lines up with Vanessa, he kind of cranes his neck and looks up and he says, "Do not let go of my arm or my shoulder or whatever.
What is in the field?
Dangerous traps to keep this place safe. And there is a specific way to
She
get
grips his
through."
shoulder a little more tightly.
He's like, "Hey, take it easy there, sister." And Bart, you would recognize that the field is set with traps and things, and theoretically, if you wanted to take the time to remove the traps, you could, but you know that they're going to escort you through the field. And that lets you know that this person is prepared for whatever might come their way. And so each of you walks and you are kind of shuffled to the left and to the right at various places for what appears to be no reason. Until eventually you reach a place about 20 feet from the building and you are released, and the big burly guy says, "When you all meet the master, you should be careful not to make any exclamation. You should be calm. If you feel like you need to faint or shout or cry, do not do so. It will be seen as an offense." And then,
Why would we cry?
Why would we faint?
why does anyone do anything? The unexpected can have an effect on those ill-prepared.
It's one of those don't stare at his nose things, isn't it?
So you are led into this side door, and inside this room there are several oil lamps providing ambient light. The room is like 10 by 10. It's small, but you all are filed through. Curiously, no one seems to ask for your weapons or anything of that nature. You're not even searched. You are then walked down a hallway until you come to a place where you can keep walking, or there's some stairs that go up. And you're escorted up the stairs, and the hollow echoing in the stairs and the hallway makes an eerie sound as several footfalls just clomping and stomping until you are up on a landing in a room that's like 20 by 20, which is lit with more lamps and has these beautiful wall hangings and tapestries showing scenes of a girl playing under an apple tree, and a scene of a pastoral meadow with horses and a donkey and cart similar to the one that Pike owns being helped down a field or down a dirt road by a man in a straw hat. And then another tapestry that shows a dark figure that appears to be threatening, possibly the girl child from the other tapestry, and the child is frightened and she's holding an apple and appears to be falling out of her hand as the dark figure is threatening. And then the door is opened across the room, and you are once again escorted in, this time only by the bigger guy. None of the other people are escorting you in there. And the guy's like, come on, come in. The master will see you now. And you all enter this other chamber, and it appears to be like a 40 by 40 room, as if it's in the middle of the second floor of this building. And the floors are polished granite, smooth. There are these stone pillars that appear to be running from the floor to the ceiling. The ceiling appears to be plastered with paintings and frescoes as you look up, and there's actual other lamps that are hanging on with ropes that they can raise and lower as if they want to have the light. There's other ambient light that's coming in through open windows in the top that appear to be letting in extra light. There's a fire in the middle of this chamber that's the smoke is going up and out. There are several chairs and other assorted places to sit, just kind of scattered about. And then sitting on a dais and on a throne to the far end, surrounded by what appear to be 5 armed men with short sword, shield, daggers, chainmail shirts and hoods. And there appears to be what can only be described as a man who has the head of a donkey sitting in the throne. And as you file in, and you're kind of about 30 feet away, so you're kind of like just behind the fire in the middle of the room, and then the rest of the room stretches before you. From out of the donkey's mouth comes perfectly formed words. I welcome the slayer of the Night King to my humble abode, and his entourage are welcome for as long as the maestro wishes to remain. And he nods an acknowledgement to Prince Sparthalantus.
I said, well, thank you for your hospitality. We're seeking passage to the islands. If you can help us with that. Mm-hmm.
That is
I do have
that is a curious request, my prince. If it would not be too much trouble, could you indulge me and my court and tell us the story of how you gained the skin of the Night King?
I asked him for it.
Was this before or after he was removed from our troubles?
After.
And how does he sound when he speaks from the grave?
He sounds pretty well because I don't think he's dead.
He has not troubled our shores for many years.
And he won't. It's part of the agreement we made. He got the northern lands above the wall. We get the rest. Even without his Oh, shit. Ugh. Without him being involved. Put it that way. He's no longer rated south again.
What price was large enough to get him to move?
What?
What?
Me? Large enough to make him move. Me?
He raided these shores for decades.
Right?
And then, through your words of comfort and joy, he happily leaves our shores. And
no, I saved his ass, and he owed me a favor, and that was the favor he owed me. To leave the southern lands alone, and I requested that I get some scales to make armor, and he agreed. Reluctantly, but he agreed.
And you think he's still alive, which means he has to be getting his food from somewhere.
Right.
And where is
he?
Are there people not in the north who are now being preyed upon as we were?
I don't know about all that, but yeah, they're hordes of, I don't know, he said undead and things that he's dealing with, so I let him deal with them.
Make a charisma check, please.
Charisma check! Is there a D3?
It's a D20 plus your charisma.
Oh, 20. 17 plus. Charisma. I only have plus one original or
no, your charisma total.
Oh, 17, 20, 30.
Okay. He says your ability to leave out useful information is still strong. And that is how I know it is actually you. But if it is not something you wish to speak of, I will respect your wishes. And now
I spoke about it.
And now you wish for my ship to take you and your retinue to one of the Gargantos Islands.
We're searching for this man's sister. He's taken...
And a cult.
Is that Vanessa that says that?
Yes.
Okay. He glances briefly at Vanessa before returning his attention to the prince. He says, "What's in it for you?"
Whatever we find, we keep, so we'll split it with him. Treasure and whatnot.
Before I make a decision on whether or not I am willing to enter into this bargain with you, are you or any of your hirelings even remotely curious as to why there has been such an increase in the slave trade and the Giants' activity as of late?
You see, because of blackout terrain stopping, maybe.
You are...
I would like to know.
You are correct. When, as my former master told me, nature does not appreciate chaos. Not in the form that we understand. And then he looks over at Shadrach. He says, "You there, you of the circle. Do you know what a predator is?"
Yes.
And Do you know that there in nature is always something that hunts something else?
Oh, yep.
Yes.
And what do you call something that nothing dare hunt because it would lose?
The word my people used was apex.
That word is also the giant word for dragon. And now that there is no apex, what do you think decided to become the top predator?
Mm.
Those that fought with the dragons in the millennia before times. There was a stalemate, but that stalemate is broken.
What do you know about the giant dragon wars?
That is what I am talking about.
What do you know, like Hero
Who are you?
went in the war?
I remember the giant herd from...
Who, Prince, do you allow your servants to speak without your
Yeah, my
leave?
They're not my servants.
Until you introduce them, they are nothing.
I'm sorry. No. I don't know. Okay.
Now, you think my name would be out there somewhere, Michael Hammerhand? I did play a kind of big part in all that stuff.
Michael, yeah.
He will step forward.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Sir Guy de Lance, Knight of the Republic. I'm here because I'm helping my friend Boris to find his sister. So that's my reason to be here.
Why don't you have your herald introduce everybody?
Paco will step forward and say, "I am Sir Paco."
I would like
I serve
like
alongside-
Paco to make a morale check, please.
Uh-oh. Is that a D20?
Roll the d20 and add 13.
25.
All right.
I rolled a 12.
Paco passes morale and may continue.
I serve alongside Sir Guy. And he bows.
Nice.
Shadrach will step up and say, "I am Shadrach Felthorn of the Circle, as you have recognized, and I too am here for the purpose of cleansing the world of these slavers and restoring the balance. That is my quest." And he will bow.
I was looking for something to do in my across school.
I'm Michael Hammerhand. Fought in the battle of Ergol-Zamzix. Defeated the Scorpion King. Fought beside Prince Bart and all this shit.
Okay. He does acknowledge you, Pikel, for some odd reason. Anybody else?
Sister?
Come on, Daryl.
Well, I thought we were being introduced, but okay.
Introduce yourself.
I'm a servant of the blend. I'm Sister Vanessa. And if you know anything about this death cult, I would appreciate any information you could give us. I appreciate your hospitality. I'm Boris Crump, and they took my sister. It's my first time gonna go on the ocean. I didn't know who I might see or what they might say.
The DM is laughing. The Donkey Dan is not laughing. Just so we're clear. Okay, so the unnerving head of a donkey on top of a human body says, well then, according to the prince, none of you are his servants, so therefore you will all be held accountable for your own actions. Something tells me that should bring you great relief, Your Highness.
Yes, it does.
Mr. Hammerhand, you asked me what I knew about the Giants and Dragons War.
I'm curious.
I do not claim to be a scholar, but I can tell you what I do know. And that is before the times of elves and men, of dwarves and orcs, there were the giant kingdom and the dragons. And they fought because there were nothing else to do. And they fought to a
That sounds
stalemate.
familiar.
They fought to a stalemate.
What a giant and dragon thing to do.
And so it was decided that the war would end before both sides were completely wiped out. An uneasy truce was created. And under the watchful eyes of Annam and Bahamut, a pact was signed to end the war and to not necessarily peacefully coexist, but not to purposefully seek out the destruction of each race.
What was the Giant King's god? Anan?
Annam.
Annam.
Annam was at the top of the ordning, the hierarchy of giants based upon their species.
What do you know of their king?
Their current king, I do not know.
What was their past kings? You know their past king?
I'm told, as I told you, I'm not a scholar of the lineage of the kings of giant kind. Only since Blackout's removal has there been a return to the giants to even being known to be still around. It was thought that they were somewhere else in this world. I can only assume that to be true because giants tend to rule openly wherever they may be. So that makes me think that they came to settle upon these islands once the dragon was gone.
You know of the name Vargas? Was it Vargas or Varus?
I will roll a d20, and if I get a 20, the answer is yes. A natural 20! Holy shit! I would just like to show the camera. That is what I rolled. Where is it? This is one of those counters from Magic the Gathering. It's that's the symbol for that particular. I think it's Innistrad. Anyway, more information than you need. Okay, so there's your fucking lucky roll. Okay, so he says Varus was one of the storm giants that wanted his kind to leave these lands to the dragons upon the signing of the pact. And before he could deliver the tribute to the general of the dragons, he went missing.
Guess who Skell-Ghosts lives with?
Now, do I have any resonant or residue memory of any of this once I get some new information, like when I connected with the guy?
The only thing I can tell you is that I have given you the information, and what you choose to do with it is up to you.
No, I was saying because I was connected with him or psychically connected to him, does any of this pop up any information I might not have been able to understand now?
I see what you're saying, and what I will say is it certainly would make sense that the giant coins was the tribute that didn't get
Right.
to where it
Well, I
needed to
understand
go.
that. I just didn't know if there's any other information I might not have been able to decipher at the time that I can decipher now, knowing more about the story. That's all I was asking.
No, you just got confirmation.
Right.
Okay.
All right, that's good. I'm happy.
Yeah, with a natural fucking 20 on a fucking sloogie jam, you better be fucking happy, you bunch of cock smokers.
Well, thank you. What's his proper name? Dan? Let's call him Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say the other one.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Donkey.
Captain Dan? I'll call him Captain Dan.
Before I was turned into this hideous figure, I was a knight of the realm. And he looks at Guy.
Today, I hate fingers and ears.
He will bow,
He says,
my lord.
as my, I was, I can only say this with humility and bluntness. I fell in love with a witch, and when I left her, she put a curse upon me to turn me into a beast of burden. And before the curse could fully transform me, I had visions of clock towers and water towers being dragons, and I would joust against them. My original, you may have heard of me, my original, who I was before I became Donkey Dan. I was Don Quixote.
I actually read that book earlier.
And all knights of the Republic know of the fall of Don Quixote. And Shadrach might have noticed that he said something about he fell in love with a witch.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shadrach kind of tenses up when he mentions a witch.
So since you all have chosen to overlook my curse and seen through it and have shown humility and kindness, I will provide you passage to the Gargantos Islands. I will not send my loyal subjects to certain death.
I don't actually bring her. Let him help us. We've got this.
No, we just need passage, my lord.
And I will not ask for anything else other than that which you have already given me, which is a brief distraction from my mortal despair.
Yeah, help me with that mortal spirit.
Man, alright, I gotta see if I can remove a curse now.
Yeah.
Daryl, you look like you're ready to pass out, brother. You tired?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's been a long week already, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Page 207.
Are you making...
Vanessa will.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. I just want to ask, are you making a little extra scratch with the extra work, or are they jonesing you?
Yeah. No, it's overtime.
This is with the new owner?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good deal.
They've been real good about the transition.
Go ahead, Brad. I'm
Better than I
sorry.
could have hoped for.
No, go ahead, Vanessa. That's what it was.
She will step forward and bow to the master of the house. I am Sister Vanessa, and I am a servant of the blend. It is possible, if you will allow it, that I could attempt to remove this curse, if you wish for that to happen.
I very much want for it to happen, but do not think that you would be the first to attempt such a thing. The witch that I incurred the wrath, the witch of which I incurred the wrath, was the leader of a powerful coven of witches who took delight in torturing men and caused much pain to those that displeased them or tried to leave. Shadrach has his hand up.
Shad will almost stumble forward and say, I know those of which you speak. I was their prisoner. They are dead now.
Are they dead like the Night King, or are they dead like my hopes and dreams from so many years ago?
The last I saw of them, they were slain and thrown in heaps and burned.
Well, let us hope for your sake then that that is true. Please, Sister Vanessa, continue.
If the witch that cursed you, if her ancient wisdom may be very difficult to counteract, you say you've had this attempted before?
Well, I don't know exactly what you're going to attempt, but I know that I have sought out wise men, shaman, clerics, magic items, and though most of this has been attributed to me being a greedy pirate, it has all been in an attempt for me to find that which can remove the curse. And it has been to my benefit for the rumors and thoughts of my evil intent to remain, for it kept me safe and alone.
Well, I'm glad we were able to find you. If my friends here, who also draw upon the astral mycelia and the mana that it provides, could all work together and combine our strengths so that one of us can cast their spell.
That's what Pico was looking up, as a spell combined.
The three of us could work together, and then it would allow me to cast, which one is it?
Curse.
Remove curse. Is that under charm?
No, curse is a Abjuration.
That's for you, because you're a wizard.
I know that.
Yeah, it's not me. Let me bring it up here real quick. But yes, remove curse is the intended spell.
3rd level cleric spell.
3rd level cleric? Wow, it's 4th level mage spell.
So, Shad, Pikel, and Vanessa are going to do this?
Yeah.
Yes, if you guys are willing.
I'm looking at the spell combined.
So you can see,
I believe it's...
you see Don Kidan, a little bit of life creeps into his eyes. And though his face is stoic as a beast of burden, his eyes belie a glint of hope. And he says, of course I would willingly allow you to attempt such a thing. Do you require anything from me? Would a good night's rest bring a refreshed and focused mind? Or perhaps a chef-prepared meal? Or maybe a simple bloodletting? I have tried so many things over the years to regain my humanity and have always been disappointed. I had given up hope. And I ask you to not be so cruel as to give me that, because I think another failure may just cause my demise.
Shad,
Well, sir.
Go ahead, Shadrach.
Shad will look at Vanessa and say, can you do it?
I'm getting a drink of water, but go ahead and keep role-playing.
I fully support what you're doing.
I can very much try. It's all verbal and somatic. Combine is verbal and somatic. The remove curse is verbal and somatic. I don't know if, even with your help in giving me the expertise, if it's going to be powerful enough to remove the ancient wisdom. You can?
I can probably do it. I'm high enough level.
That might be the better, because I would be casting to metagame at 9th level at that point, right? Or 8th.
Isaiah?
No, 9th. I would gain 1 level, or is it 1 per priest?
Cheese or pepperoni?
I don't know that's your spell though.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Usually able to remove
Yeah.
curse, whether it's on an object or
It's a higher level spell.
evil presence. Note that new curse spell cannot affect a curse shell weapon.
You can pull this one off for that for the Shad. This is the
So eventually you gain 3 levels of priest.
See, I don't know if I even count because I'm a druid. I mean,
He gains 1 level for each priest in the circle, up to a maximum, so I would gain 2 levels and cast as a 10th level
it's
priest.
pretty potent.
Hard to tell. It's worth a try.
Yeah, I could try change.
Shad supports it. Yeah, well, there we go. We can give our best to Donkey Dan and see what happens. He is a little bit humbled because it's Don Quixote and he knows the legend. And he'll be telling Paco about it. And since Paco is just now learning to be what he is, Gene will tell him the story of Don Quixote.
Is it cursing or polymorphing? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, he said cursed.
I know. But he could be told it was a curse. You just been,
How long would your polymorph last?
permanent.
You can also, we can dispel magic part.
Yeah.
Dispel magic. You can try something like that.
I can do that after you do yours.
I think it's kind of simple as just spell magic would work.
Well, I don't think Dispel magic would work if it's a curse.
Just saying, it's an option.
Well, I'm saying that's why they had the spell remove curse. It's different.
Is remove curse actually a wizard spell too?
Yes. 4th level.
That's. I didn't expect that. Oh well.
And I
Oh no, you can put a curse on
14th
people.
level. I can cast it 14th level.
Well, that means we can try it twice. Once it finesses try, and then your try.
Right. I kick mine in as his ending.
So I mean, the furnace isn't high enough level. Yours might be.
Because mine's just verbal fanatical, so I didn't hope you want to behind you guys, that you guys just spell finish it up and cast it again. If it didn't work right away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's verbal and somatic. It's just the hands waving in the air doing ooga booga.
Yeah. As you remember, Gaspar Barty used left hand movements in their fanatics.
Yeah, because I lost my hand, I was able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, single-handedly, so we taught me how to do it with one hand, so technically with my fiendish hand, I can cast 2 spells at a time.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit one people, okay, yes, yeah.
Okay, Cobb.
I think you fell.
Vanessa will tell Dan that I feel confident that I can remove a curse if the individual who cursed you is of greater wisdom and age than me. I cannot guarantee you that it will work. But I have faith in the blend, and if you're willing to let me, I don't want to put you into any more emotional torment than you've gone through by living with this curse for so long and having failed, as you said, many times. If you put your faith in the blend, I will do my best with the aid of my friends to return your life to normal.
I will muster up all the faith that I have. And you see that he reaches inside of his shirt and he pulls off a chain with a little double helix on it, and he grasps it tightly with his hand and holds on to it.
A big smile on Vanessa's face.
I think we should join hands and surround him. And while he casts a spell, we sing Kumbaya, my blend.
Perfect. Shadrach and Michael will get on either side of me and join hands in front of and behind me. We all sing the song. Kumbaya.
He and Paco will get him.
In this is the casting of Combine, which will allow me to cast Remove Curse as a 10th level cleric. Or priest, whatever you prefer.
You don't say. Oh.
I'm not sure. The only advantage I can see to that is that it might put me at a higher point than the caster of the curse.
That's how a Dispel Magic would work as well. It's the level of, the caster versus the castee.
And then
And
Vanessa goes into her casting of Remove Curse. She places her hands on the shoulders of Dan, and she moves in close and whispers to him, "You're not welcome here anymore. Leave this man's body. Transform him to what he once was, a hero and not a scoundrel. Blessed is the blend, and take this curse away!
Okay, so do the other two priests do or say anything to aid in the chance of this spell succeeding?
We would get behind him in good church fashion and hold him to keep him falling to the floor when he places his hand upon his forehead and pushes him back.
Shadrach will grasp a sprig of mistletoe in his hand, and he won't say it loud because he's not going to interrupt your spell, but he's chanting under his very low in the druid's language. Mother Skell, let this man be healed. Let some of the evil done by the terrible witches be healed today, and strengthen Sister Vanessa's resolve. And I'll reach forward and I'll just, I'll touch her hand or some part of her without interrupting what she's doing.
Okay.
Her shoulder, her hip, something like that.
And anything from you, Pikel?
I thought I said it.
So you're pushing someone?
He's bracing the guy from behind in case the magical power.
Yeah.
Knock him back.
I
In
see.
case
I'll
he
take it out
collapses.
the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do an evangelistic service. Come on, Cobb.
Okay.
Be healed!
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Vanessa.
The first line of the spell description says, usually able, so we'll see. Usually able. That's the only limitation or
Yeah.
indication of a die roll I see.
I'd say there was a lot of positive energy in this room. Everybody is focused on this. Even Guy. Guy is especially
We're pulling
focused
for
on it.
him.
Yeah. Everybody has some kind of a connection to this guy. Shad, unexpectedly, that was out of the blue. So, maybe the fact that, at least I think she's dead.
Okay. So I have factored in the ability of the original spell, the curse. I have factored in the level of the central priest and the added bonus powers granted. And now I have to go get my son's pizza, so hold on.
I love that warning or that indicator, whatever it is.
That was Three Stooges.
Yeah, the alert. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
Yeah, Hungry has
Come on.
these figures seem to alert.
Come on, Millie.
We shall see.
Yeah, this went in a completely indirect. I thought we were going to have to get in here and be tough on these people.
Good thing we didn't hit him.
Yeah, well, they
Should have
said, let you know the front.
Hey, you got to factor in Kumbaya much, Lynn. Come on.
Yeah. Vanessa was hoping that there would be like she could do an offer of some healing or something to help the people. But I didn't expect this.
I think you forget that he has a high charisma. He can talk to people, but in his way.
Right.
Unlike Shad, Shad's different. Shad is actually friendly and warm and in that way when he's charismatic, but he is like He's Mr. Everybody's friend. He can be that way. Plus, he is handsome.
Boris has a good charisma, but he's not real smart.
He's just average. He's not brilliant. He's just average intelligence.
You see,
Doesn't mean he's...
they ran all that Walmart, didn't you?
What's Bart's intelligence?
Huh?
What's Bart's intelligence?
18.
Okay. Well, the Parker's just as smart as Bart, then.
I was going to say, let's see here. Chad has a wisdom of 18 and intelligence of 15.
Unfortunately, I don't know why, but weaponsmithing, the intelligence, it's based off intelligence.
Yeah.
So I
Gotta be smart.
have 17 wisdom, but an 18 intelligence.
Yeah.
See, because
You
that's...
have to know how to build the weapons. You have to know
Yeah, you have to-
how to use it and everything too.
Yeah, you have to understand.
Metallurgy. Let's just start with that.
Yeah.
Something good is not going to know how to do stuff like
You
that.
gotta know what materials you need, the best materials for weapon at hand and all that shit too.
But
Yeah.
you know how to make moving... You're basically an artificer. You know how to make moving parts.
Yeah. See, that's like the car in blacksmithing
Yeah.
and weaponsmithing because I wanted to be able to make artifacts.
And weaponsmiths can make, like, exotic weapons, like, hand crossbows and stuff like that.
I'm glad we've got an engineer with us.
I'm an armorer, an engineer,
And a priest.
smith, miner,
And a priest.
melting.
Yeah, you do smell.
It's been a long trip. We haven't showered yet.
You something, I go,
Oh,
I've been smelting the link for a few days.
smelter.
I just keep an iron ore in my armpit, so by the time I get there, I got something to work with.
Gives
Okay.
that nice green hue.
So I will tell you, according to the reading of the spell, it says certain curses may not be countered by this spell, or may be countered only by a caster of a certain level or more. So if Vanessa had attempted to cast this spell by herself, she would have utterly failed because she is not powerful enough. As in the description, the Don Kidan had said that a powerful witch had cast the spell and cursed. And though Vanessa may be full of her god's mana, she is not considered powerful. But when you add in the combined spell, gaining the boosting and helpful effects of two other chosen, and the excellent casting of the spell, I am going to allow a saving throw for Don Kidan. And I am going to allow Vanessa to pick who rolls it.
Well, Cobster, roll it up.
All right. So we're looking for a high number. And I will pick the dice that rolled the natural 20 before.
Oh.
Are you ready? You want me to pick the die,
You pick whichever dice you picked up is great.
the smooth die of death? All right, here we go. I'll roll it right out here for everyone to see.
Oh, yeah. Nat 20.
No, not quite, but a 15 is good enough.
Damn.
Sweet.
As the spell, you cast it, and at first nothing happens, and you feel the mana leave you and flow around, and it seems like something is blocking the mana. You can almost feel it like being pushed back onto you, and those of you that are surrounding and helping with the combine, you feel a wave of heavenly energy start to, like as if you were standing too close to a wood-burning stove and the heat radiating off it. But then suddenly, Pykel and Shadrach both refocus, and as Pykel starts to bolster Don Kidan, and Shadrach reaches out and just barely touches the hem of Vanessa's garment, it's as if a dam breaks and the mana starts to flow and go into Don Kidan, and in a dramatic whirling wipe effect like a Star Wars movie, you see his features slowly change. The ears start to shrink down. The snout starts to retract and start to form the face of a human. The eyes slowly set more forward into the face, and moving from the eyes of prey to that of predator. The hair on the mane slowly shortens but then spreads out over the top. And then sitting there in front of you in this slightly baggy shirt sits a man of some years, probably in his 40s or 50s, with dark hair streaked with gold and a salt and pepper beard.
Uh-oh.
And it causes Bart to pass out. And as he starts to put his hands up to his face and to feel, tears of joy well up in his eyes. And he looks up and tears are coming down his face, and he's having a hard time breathing.
Vanessa is also smiling and beginning to cry. Tears well up in her eyes, and she reaches out to him. Don Quixote, welcome back. And she pulls him in for a hug if he'll allow it.
He does allow it, and his sobs of joy diminish slightly as he embraces Vanessa for a few moments before pushing away and wiping his eyes, and he looks at her and he says, "My prayers have been answered. The blend has brought me forth from my living nightmare.
Yes.
Thank you." And then he looks.
It is with
he stands
great
up
honor.
and he says, "My friends, my court, I am cured!" And they go, "What is it?" They're clapping and clattering their weapons and metal and stomping their feet. And he gets up and he walks around and goes around as being glad-handed by his followers. And just for a moment, you all are left by yourselves there in front of the dais and contemplating what you've just seen and how you feel is up to you, but you know that it took quite a bit of effort on all of your part to be successful.
Vanessa will reach out to each of you, Shadrach and Michael, to put her arms around you and thank you. Your mana strengthened my will and allowed me to fight off the evil.
Shad is actually smiling.
Well, help to have more than one god in the pot, I suppose.
There is hope yet. And if this is not a good omen to our mission, I don't know what is.
This is
I
just
can't-
cooperation.
I can't thank you enough.
Gee says, yeah! The
One day I
blade!
will return the favor.
Hurrah!
So, Sir Don Quixote of the Knights of Chex comes over and he says, I will never forget you. As far as what has just happened, I don't know what to do other than to celebrate.
That sounds like a perfect idea.
And I wish for you all to join me. And he says, attention! Tonight we will celebrate our guests for what they have done for this house and for me personally. And I hope that all of you will join me when the dinner bell rings. He says, for now, all of you, I wish for you to relax and enjoy the rest of the day with whom you choose. The ships and the shore be damned for at least one night only. And all the men are like, hey! And lots of them like start leaving, and others come up and thank him, and he's all happy and stuff. And then eventually he says, I don't know what kind of schedule you're on. He says, but at least do me the honor of being my guest tonight, spend the night, and then we'll pack up in earnest the ship for tomorrow and make sure it's not a long journey to the island, but it is a couple days. We have one island that we could stop at if we wanted to, but I don't really think we're going to need to. And then
I just want to find Nebula.
Boris, you're on your way to finding your sister.
I appreciate your hospitality.
So, man, all sounds good to me.
This is a fortuitous union.
I'm ready for some holy wine.
So you all are given seats at first to sit down, and you hear these guys talking about the food and what they need to do, and he's talking with the cooks and whatever. And you notice for the first time that there's women that are there and that are a part of the team, if you will. They were nowhere to be found before. And they seem to be all like happy and stuff, and there's a lot of smiles and like flirting between ladies, and most of everyone is like paired off. They're already either married or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. There's not apparently any like teenage girls and boys here. They're probably sent away to not be part of whatever this was. And you all are given the opportunity to get either a rest in or go clean up or whatever. And if you
I go
choose,
find a bath.
okay. Anybody else want to take advantage of the downtime?
Yeah, Guy's gonna party it up, sure. When he'll try to, I want to talk to Don Quixote at some point in a quieter, or at
Sure.
least have him off to the side for just a moment.
Yes, Daryl?
Boris will also enjoy the party atmosphere for the evening. Vanessa will have her a glass of wine with a meal and walk around and talk to people about the blend that'll listen and inquire about getting cleaned up.
I'll grab a turkey leg and a pint of ale to go take my bath with, though, if it's available.
Okay. So all that stuff is, those of you that choose to get cleaned up, you do that, and those of you that want to just hang out and talk to people, you do that. And basically what you find out from talking to people is that a lot of these people were either rescued or helped out, or like came to arrest the pirate Donkey Dan, but upon meeting him, a lot of them were almost like converted to be in his circle, and there was a lot of work put into maintaining the facade of him being the most ruthless, evil son of a gun around, because he didn't want anyone just coming around and making fun of him. And now that that is no longer the case, some people are worried that perhaps their group of their community might no longer have a reason to continue, and they're worried that Don will return to his life in civilization and things of that nature. And then the evening comes and all of you are seated at the table with Sir Don and a couple of his friends, the big burly guys there, and there's the meal is, you know, decent for the time and the place. It's not super fancy, but it's certainly, there's a lot of like pig and pork, and they have vegetables and tropical fruits and things. And then as the evening winds down, Guy, you have a chance to talk to Sir Don Quixote.
He presents himself and brings Paco, says, come on, you're coming with me. And we'll find Don Quixote and say, my lord, I wish to present to you my recently knighted squire, Sir Paco, and I would call upon you to give us your blessing in our soon-to-be endeavor. And I will bow before him.
Young Paco, eh? Newly knighted by a current knight of the realm. Of which house do you serve, Sir Guy?
Count Ludovico of the Three Towers, my lord.
I see. And how stands the affairs of the nobility back in Inner Saxophonia?
Content, my lord.
And
I say it with a certain degree of disgust.
men such as us, we find glory in the art of combat. How does the peace find you?
My journey to the north revealed to me that the Saxophonians are landing on these shores at will to trade slaves to the giants.
I assume you mean the Acaremans.
I'm sorry, whoop! Yes, the Acaremans. Saxophonians, good lord. Okay,
This all from, that was from the Alien episode of 32, right? The Saxophonian.
Ay, ay, ay. Yes, the Achaemenians are taking slaves from the Republic at will, it seems, and that my personal goal is to see that comes to an end.
Yes, that's terrible.
I think that the leadership is ignoring this threat.
I don't know. Then things have changed. For when I would make it to court annually, the president at that time was, I think his name, if I remember correctly, it was Gorn Ironclad, and he was a dwarf, and he took the security of the realm very serious. Of course, possibly with the threat of Blackout being gone, it is possible that the discipline necessary to patrol the kingdom has grown lax. It wouldn't be the first time that, with no obvious threats, that the care wasn't taken to be prepared for when there is eventually one. I don't know. I've been out of the loop for many years.
I believe that they are, as you say, lax, that they have softened, and I've seen it firsthand. The Achaemenians have built a fortress in the north even. I saw an army of hundreds of them. I was captured by them for a short period of time. And that's how I met Boris and learned about his sister. And that's also why I'm here, to help my friend Boris be reunited with his sister.
Well, I don't know if they still do these things, but you know, that would be something noble that you could pursue, that of the courtly love of Boris's sister.
Oh, I've never met her, my lord.
But that is the point. You would love someone that you could never attain, and it would drive you to higher chances of victories. Did you not learn the idea of courtly love in their training?
Yes, my lord, but such things as those were always secondary to me with regards to my martial training. And I regret that now.
Sir Guy, yes, I was about to say, Sir Guy, don't make the same mistake I made and forego being a well-rounded knight and taking the affairs of your mind and your heart just as seriously as those of your sword and your horse. Paco, are you willing to do what is necessary to achieve true knighthood in the eyes of the blend?
Yes, my lord.
It may require sacrifices. Are you prepared to give up those things which you love for those things which you must protect?
Yes, my lord. I've seen my lord Sir Guy sacrifice much and do much for his friends, and I wish to emulate that vision.
Well, then may the blend guide you in your journey. I hope that your journey is not as filled with trials and tribulations as mine, but we all have our own helix to bear.
Kring!
He says, well, I'm going to have one more drink and then I'm going to retire. Gentlemen, a pleasure. And he turns and...
My lord. Let's go, Paco.
All right. Anything specific that Pikel would like to achieve during the relaxation portion?
He's slightly drunken. He's working with the bard on a new song. And it's 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 Acaradians. 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 Acaradians. Hey, Acaradians.
Aww.
Okay, sounds like Pikel's just enjoying the atmosphere and some camaraderie and meeting new folks. What about Shadrach at this time?
Shad sits quietly in a corner, and he will eat. He will drink. He'll even have a little bit of wine. He'll put that on, but he really won't interact too much. He'll just watch everybody. Be very quiet. The revelation about the witches kind of subdued him a little bit.
Okay. How about Boris? What's he up to?
Boris enjoys the meal, has some drinks, dances a little bit. You say there's no single ladies around, so he's not going to go flirting with any married women, but he'll mingle.
Boris, I'd like
Nothing
you to
special.
Boris, I'd like you to roll me a luck check, a D30 plus your level.
Oh, buddy! 30.
Uh-oh.
6.
Oh my.
Oh.
Okay, well guess what? Boris is minding his own business. And now he needs to roll me a charisma check.
Whatever that would say.
34.
Look out.
On a D20, you added a D20 to your charisma?
19 and 14.
Okay, that's 33. That's still fucking
33,
really good.
okay.
Okay.
That's close.
Well, as Boris is doing exactly what you said he was going to do, he notices that he is being stared at by one of the ladies that is pouring drinks. And she just keeps staring.
It's about the prettiest thing you ever did saw.
Uh-huh.
Does Boris do anything
He
about it?
approach her.
Okay.
He approaches and says, "You're very pretty."
She grabs Boris by the hand and jerks him into the kitchen and proceeds to be aggressive with him. Does he reciprocate or do something else?
Does she smell
He
like
reciprocates.
Okay. So I am going to allow Boris to write the end of his own evening. But let's just say Boris is nowhere to be found for a little while. And last,
Constitution check. We'll see how long.
yeah, last but not least, Vanessa. What is she up to?
She had mingled as well, talking a blend related things to the people and talking with them about, the things you mentioned that we learned about the situation, how they got there and how they're worried. And after mingling for a while, she goes to retire for the evening after having her bath.
All right. I would like Vanessa to roll a level check, please.
Uh-oh.
10.
Total?
Okay, I'm adding my levels, so 18.
All right. And I would like Vanessa to roll a charisma check, please.
Yeah. I know what it is, but I always forget. It's 23.
Ooh.
23. Okay. Vanessa has just finished getting into her sleeping attire and has folded up her other things and packed it away into whatever she carries things. And she's put her staff in the corner, and she's just crawled into bed when there's a knock on her door.
Who is it? She'll get up and go to the door. Who's there? She slowly open the door and peek out.
She slowly opens the door and peeks out.
Okay, can you let her in?
She sees...
She doesn't see any?
She sees... First like the light from a candle kind of makes her eyes a little... But then as she focuses, she sees a man standing there with a cloak, the hood pulled up, and he's tall and appears strong. And at first she thinks it's like the burly guard
The guy that
escorted
walked us
him,
in.
right? But then she notices that it's not him at all, and she has this memory,
Everything to this one.
and this person looks familiar, and
Who are
your
you?
mind is going in weird places, like
The bad old days?
it looks like somebody that raised you.
I'm asking again, who are you?
This man is not saying anything.
Lower your hood, show yourself.
Hold on, I'm checking something, Daryl. I don't,
Her attitude is not that of danger, but caution. And then she shifts a little bit and says, "Do you need help?"
the person raises the candle and pulls back the hood. And it looks like your father.
She will throw her arm around his shoulder and draw him into the room.
Okay?
"Is it really you, Father?"
He kind of looks up at you. He's very
Say
tall.
something.
He's very tall, but not as tall as you are. And you see, once again, tears from a man that you've only met today. And he doesn't speak. He kind of opens his mouth, and all you hear is
Oh no. Oh Oh man,
And as you
will men?
look, it appears as if this person does not have their tongue.
Yeah, it's getting there. Oh, Father, what have they done to you? Let me think. Let me pray. The blend will provide an answer. We'll communicate. Did you hear of Don Quixote's healing?
He's just staring at you. In his eyes, you see a mixture of sorrow and pain and helplessness.
I'm just gonna embrace him. Be calm. I'm gonna use my soothing word. Be calm, Father. The blend is strong here. You're safe. And I'm okay. Relax and ease your mind. Release the burdens of so many years of trials and tribulations. And I just try to make him more comfortable. I thought I'd never see you again. Make yourself comfortable. Rest here.
He kind of moves and sits down on the bed. And as he moves, you can see that he's limping. And then when he sits down, he goes, "Eh." As the car goes past somebody's window.
That's truck. They're by the highway. I'm right where 170 turns into 270, or vice versa.
Okay.
So there's lots of Jake brakes going off.
Jake brakes?
Yeah, semi truck, that noise, that the noise you hear.
Yeah.
That's when a truck needs to slow down but not stop. It's an air brake that makes the noise. It's called Jake brake.
Interesting.
Why it's called that on that note.
What's happening?
I think Daryl
Vanessa
is looking up something.
And her father were having a moment, and yeah, I'm looking up a spell. That's what I'm doing. But I told her him to make himself comfortable, rest here. So I mean, the Cobb, if you want to move on to something else, that's fine. I'm just kind of pouring through, and she says I'm going to pray. The blend will give me an answer, and we will communicate.
Okay. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for your backstory, and I know you sent it to me, but I don't know why I can't find it.
I do still have it. I can snap a picture and send it to you if you like.
That would be great. Okay, so But that's everybody, I think, right? So, Shadrach, at some point, people start leaving the area and going away, so...
I will then retire to my room.
That makes sense.
You're welcome to stay in a room with Vanessa, if that's a possibility.
I figured they gave us all separate rooms. I didn't know.
That's fine, too.
No, Shad would never try to stay in a room with you. That's why he got embarrassed by Bart. Shad has his reasons.
I believe it.
So yeah, Shad was just like you said, he sat around at the party quietly in the corner, and if anybody spoke to him, he spoke back, but he didn't actively go out and talk to people. And then he went to bed. He's very introspective at this moment.
As well he should be. He's what we call a gum sack. Oh.
Oh. What part of the mouse is left when the cat eats it? The gulp sack.
You have a good memory.
Yeah, for really crazy stuff, yeah, I do.
We've never done really crazy stuff.
No,
Well, I mean,
I haven't.
it
You
goes-
have.
Gump sack is a fairly specific, weird moment thing, yeah.
All right, I'm going to send this to you on a text, Cobb.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I hope that you're able to read it clearly. Let's see what I'm doing here.
Crayon doesn't show up so good.
Oh, that was,
Right?
that was mean.
I've signed my tax forms in the past with Crayon. After I used to mail them in. It's legal. Hard to erase.
You were that guy, huh?
Yeah,
They
I was that guy.
They were sitting there in Kansas City going, this guy.
Yeah, I usually use like something like gold or...
I'm going to get my taxes done next Thursday, week from tomorrow.
Take your crayon.
Yep, take your crayon. Or
I,
a quill, big old quill pen. Tear the paper. Sorry.
I might have also sent it to Cobb Jam, but I'm not sure if I did. Yeah, take that.
Wow.
that's,
Wow.
That's Clark there.
It was
right?
his lightsaber malfunctioning.
Made my teeth vibrate.
That was his disappointment. All right. Anyway,
Now we know Clark's frequency.
what's the frequency, Clarky? Oh.
Definitely uncertain.
So, Vanessa, were you going to cast a spell on this guy?
I just don't have something in mind at this time. I'm trying to
Okay.
find something that works. So she is praying.
Okay. All right.
You healed what's his name's mouth before?
So, you, eventually, everyone wakes up. Shadrach wakes up in a nice, comfortable bed. No animal companions there to snuggle with. Sir Guy wakes up to Paco flexing in the window, saying, "Yeah, I'm bad."
You are.
Paco wakes up and scratches his beard and notices how great it is to be a dwarf. Vanessa wakes up. Apparently she fell asleep while she was praying, and she she glances over and sees that this man is sleeping in the bed. At least he appears to be sleeping. He could be dead.
She goes to him and nudges his shoulder.
He wakes with a start. Hey,
Pray with me, Father.
he mimics you in whatever
She holds his hands
supplicant formation you choose.
and she says, Heavenly Blend, reach out, use your power to heal this man, repair his injury that is so drastic and severe, help restore his speech and normal function of his tongue. Let your warmth and healing light flow through me. Blessed is the blend. And she rubs her hands across his cheeks and down to his neck and feels the warmth begin to flow. And she casts repair injury.
You're just on a roll, Vanessa.
I hope. The
Okay.
remove curse went better than went great.
You cast the spell. The healing mana begins to flow from the cosmic omnipotent benevolence, and through your heart and your mind, and it slowly moves into this man. And when you cast, you feel, you know that the injury that he has sustained is too embedded in his physical being to be repaired as if it is an injury. It is become a part of him, and so therefore is no longer applicable to his situation.
I was afraid of that. I'm sorry. It didn't work. He's like, no, it's it.
He looks up at you with eyes that see, they look less red, and he manages like a weak smile and then reaches out, and if you allow him, he like puts his hand on your face. And
Yes.
he starts to take his thumb and run it across your forehead, and it brings back a memory of you sitting in your dad's lap when you were a small girl, and him telling stories of how he and his mother met, and how though there were differences in them that other people could not overcome, that their faith and their ability to see inside of someone broke through the barrier of prejudice and hate and racial bias, and that it causes you to think of how sometimes you absent-mindedly, when you cast healing spells, you will take your thumb and run it across the forehead of your patient, or that when you soothe them, when you are performing miracles, that the the calming thumb has become one of your bedside manners, and you know in that moment that this must be your dad, and that how he came to be here, you don't know, but you know it's him, and neither of you can help it but you embrace, and the tears flow, and that's where we're going to end tonight's game, with the scene.
She's feeling very blessed and very awesome. She never thought she would see him again, or her mother, and, well, we don't know about all that.
You don't know about that.
I don't know nothing about that, but I was on the dock one time.
I'm assuming Brad ran out of juice again. I don't know. I didn't ask him. I
Something.
texted him ahead of the game. I said, charge your phone, Clinkle Snap. So he needs to get himself a different way. I know that shit's not free, but whatever.
Hey, whenever I play, all my stuff is plugged in and charging.
Well, I think if he's playing in the garage, he might not have a charger up. I don't know. That might be that might be his place where he can go to get some peace and quiet too. You know, so who
I have a
knows?
bad charger. I usually keep my phone on while I play.
All right, so that will call it for tonight. Does anyone have any questions or parting words before we say goodbye?
That was pretty effortless. We did a good job and didn't even get hurt.
Great fun.
Well, all right.
All kinds of revelations. Then we got our boat.
Clark's like, I ain't saying shit. This sucks.
Oh, okay.
We got the boat for free.
That's okay. That's okay. Just keep showing up, even if it sucks, Clark. That's fine. Oh. Alrighty then.
I'm just naturally that cheery and optimistic about life and stuff, you know. I don't know. That's what I like to say.
No,
All right,
we'll
very
get
good.
an opportunity soon enough to get storm giants stepping on our faces.
Well, yeah, so unless something changes, we'll catch you all next week.
Later on, fellas.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Love you too, brother.